Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry about the delayed opening. I was just checking my audio a little bit. So again, usual excuse. This character. Sorry, I can't upload as much today, or this week actually. I've got a lot of assignments going on, and just in general stuff's going on. Look, it's bad for me too. One thing I've started to notice about this character, and about this series in general, is that it's just not. I don't find it to be interesting for others to watch. Like, even I am, like, from my own perspective, I'm not as enjoying these videos as much. So I have a good indication of, I guess, how other people are taking it as well. It doesn't seem to be as interesting, and I apologize for that. I'll probably end it as quickly as possible, or I'll do another series on top. So this is the depths part of the version of the dungeon. And depths is just a really intense version of dungeon. It's very specific. There's a lot of enemies that you have to know quite specifically, quite in detail, I guess, how to deal with. And I'll be talking about the ones that are the most dangerous, I suppose. I'm gonna try to pull back a little bit on the tutorialness, and the main reason why is because while it's okay for me to do these, I feel like it's a bit forced. Mostly because it takes a lot out to just preemptively, I guess, talk about each and every enemy. It's draining. It's fun, but it drains. I don't really know why that's the case. I should enjoy it, but you know me, I'm a bit lazy. So yeah, and oh, I got a bist. I didn't get a bist. There was a 1 there. I don't need it. All right. So let's talk about the depths a little bit more, I guess, as we move on. The thing about depths is that it's almost exactly the same as vaults. It's just ever so slightly tougher. The main reason why it's tough, though, is because of the full dungeon floor level, I guess, vaults they're called. Let me teleport away from Enchantress before I talk about her. The reason why it's dangerous is because there are so many huge areas that are, you've seen before. Like, I guess there's there's two things called vaults in this game. The first one is the actual place, and the second one is like a template kind of that gets placed in the dungeon at random. So because depths comes with a huge number of vaults that are just the whole floor, and that often makes it really tough to fight. A lot of these, a lot of the times those vaults are really tough. Like, there might be an example here, I haven't really checked. So we're approaching the Enchantress, and let's talk about her a little bit. So she comes with a demon weapon usually, or a quick blade, and she has the ability to haste herself and hex you very strongly. I'm gonna first cast Choke's Hand. Brother in Arms, and then I'm gonna berserk her. I could have used anti-magic, but frankly, it's not too important. Spriggans are individually very dangerous as well. As a pack, they're a lot more dangerous. So, yeah, you kind of want to handle them as if they were early game orcs. You wanna not fight them more than once. So this fairy dragon armor is the same as a model dragon armor, pretty much. There's no real difference. It just comes with random enchantments and I guess properties. This one was an +6 one. That's not bad. But it's only +3, so if you think about it, it's just a +3, +3 model dragon armor, which is not that great. But by this stage in the game, you should really have something better, I guess. But some characters do see merit in it, especially when it comes with very good resists. Okay, so this is a new enemy, kind of. I think it's new since 0.16 or 0.17. It's actually very dangerous, and the reason why is because it has a high chance to constrict you. It can shoot iron shots, and it can throw you, which puts you far out of position. So right now I'm already taking quite a lot of damage from it. I can see enemies that are coming in, and I'm at fairly low health, so I'm going to pull upstairs, and then I can re-engage the fight later. I didn't really talk too much about that, so I guess I will now. It's a bit late, but better late than never. So pulling upstairs have a couple of interesting mechanics. The whole stairs thing. The first thing that's interesting about stairs is that when you first enter a floor, you have a 1-turn initiative, I suppose. So for the first turn that you go down on the floor, you have 100%, like, nothing can do anything. Even if there's enemies right next to you, they won't react to you. Just for that one turn, I think. Yeah. Oh, sorry, they will react to you, but they won't be able to move in that turn. In that turn, that means that basically you can go downstairs and go upstairs, and I'm not sure if they can follow you, but they won't move towards you and be able to follow you. And every turn after that, taking the stairs up takes 2 turns, so you will get hit every time you go upstairs. So it's usually stair pulling, or which is where you go upstairs and you drag enemies up with you so you can engage them. It's a little bit dangerous if you are next to a lethal enemy, because they can do a ton of damage. You know, they get free hits on you basically. Let's talk about Asterion. He's a Minotaur. He's of McLeb, and he wields sometimes really good weapons, sometimes he doesn't. I'm just going to use the general regen, and then I'll just fight him. He should be okay to handle in a corridor, because his main cool thing, I guess, the spectral weapon, it doesn't work when you're in corridors. It can't hit you, and sorry, he can't hit you and have his spectral weapon hit you at the same time, because the spectral weapon is stuck behind him. Alright. Okay, so I guess a lot of these uniques, I'm steamrolling over a lot of these uniques now, and that's mostly because this character has a lot of just good stuff. He has tons of fighting, he has tons of armor, he has tons of dodging, and he has his axes at min delay. There's not a lot else that we need to do. I was going to go evocations this game, but again, I kind of want to, talk a little bit more broadly. I don't want to say, oh, regen is the best way to win. It is, but it's very good for a berserker who has a lot of points to spare, but, I don't want to rely on anything other than the axe. The strength of my axe is all that I need to win the game. Yeah, again, this Octopode Crusher is doing a lot of damage. That sucks. There's an embroidered hat here. I have a +2 hat. Let's see if it's got anything. Nothing. Okay, that's fine. So, yeah. I don't remember what I was talking about. This is a Lich. Liches are very dangerous spellcasters. The best way to deal with them is use anti-magic if you're a warrior, I guess, or just kill them very quickly. Because the more turns you let them sit in your sight, the more dangerous. Okay, now these Spriggans come in packs. There's this Defender guy, who's a tank. These Spriggan Riders deal fairly good damage, and this is a Berserker, who can do the same things that I can. I don't really want to engage this by myself, or in a place where I will have to fight them all at once. I'm going to summon a Brother-in-Arms, and then I'm going to fight. And that's going to reduce the danger of this outcome by a huge amount. Pretty much I took nothing, when I would have at least been chunked down to about half health. So, clearly the Brother-in-Arms was a good move there. An odd thing about this game, I suppose, is that when you watch someone play, and you see them, do an engage, they take on a fight, and then they don't take any damage, it sometimes feels like you can just get away with not doing the things that they did, specifically. Like, you could probably fight that and not get... You saw how easy it was, so maybe in your own game with a Berserker, you would get away with just not doing it. With not, doing things like this, where you pull back into a corridor, and you get red trained, and then you summon a Brother-in-Arms, and you just do this. Like, you just let the Brother-in-Arms fight for you, before you fight. And notice how I didn't take that much damage there. But, if I had not done the things that I did, if I had not pulled back, if I had not dug my way back home, back to safety, and then summoned a Brother-in-Arms, and then let it fight, and then fought, I would have taken a ton of damage. I can guarantee you that. I would have taken at least maybe 80 more damage, and that is a bit scary. Juggernauts, again, this is another new enemy. So basically what they do is I'm trying to look at their tile a little bit. That's pretty weird looking. Okay, so what they do is they move really fast and they hit you really hard, but they hit very slowly. So I suppose the right choice is to career. Yeah, okay, so what career does, these red tip needles, is, oh my goodness. Okay, I don't want to deal with this at all. I'm going to let the Brother-in-Arms take care of it. Okay, so what career does is it slows and poisons the enemy at the same time. It's a very potent weapon against enemies that don't resist poison. But against poison-resistant enemies, it does pretty much nothing. So it's quite specific, but it's also very powerful. This Tengu is frustrating because it's shooting spells at me, so I'm going to back off until it's in a corner, and then I can kill it when it's in melee range with me. Anti-magic is great, don't get me wrong. I think I've said it enough times, anti-magic is great, but it's actually not necessary when fighting a spellcaster to go anti-magic, to switch to anti-magic. And the reason why is because, honestly, the best counter to a mage is just kill it really fast. If the mage is sitting there for 3 turns in your line of sight before it dies, it doesn't matter how strong its spells are, most of the time it won't kill you. But that's of course assuming you have 3 turns. So downstairs, there are a lot of enemies coming up. This Titan can smite and lightning bolt. These trolls can haste and might the other trolls, and this vampire knight downstairs can haste himself. So I'm going to pull up 2 enemies. So as you can see there, I think they attacked me as I was going upstairs. Let me check. Yeah, you climb upstairs. Oh no, okay, apparently I didn't get attacked that time, which is fine. So I'm going to go down, and I'm going to pull myself a iron troll, and I'm going to kill this fire giant. Okay, now is the time where I decide not to stair pull that area. And the reason why is because the Juggernaut is right there. And, okay, let's teleport out of this. I don't want to fight Berserk Death Axe just yet. Okay, this is pretty scary. I'm getting pelted from range. Okay, good. So the reason why I decided to go to a different staircase is because the Juggernaut would have been in melee with me had I gone down the staircase earlier. And that is pretty scary. I'm heavily poisoned, so let's cure out of this. Like, you don't want a Juggernaut to have 2 free turns attacking you, because that might mean more than half your health, or even your entire health bar. So, yeah, ultimately I chose to go to a different staircase. And I guess that's fairly intuitive. You go to different staircases when there's an enemy that could potentially kill you very badly. Let's see what these boots are. They're just +1. I can drop them. Yeah, these +5 boots are quite nice, but again, they're not very necessary. They give me RC+++, which is okay. Apart from that, you know, not fantastic. The armor is good, but honestly, I don't need an extra 3 armor that much. It's just a nice bonus to have. I almost got malmutated, but because I remembered to, let me see, yeah, because I remembered to use the Amulet of Mutation, I just didn't get mutated, which is nice. Okay, so Iron Dragons are big melee threats, they're gone. Wizards are potentially dangerous, but, you know, they only are dangerous sometimes. As long as you kill them in like 3 to 5 turns, it's okay. So this Hell Knight pack is about as difficult as I suppose an early Orc pack, I guess. They don't do too much more damage now that I have a lot of armor and stuff. They do have a quite a high potential to spawn with distortion weapons, but apart from that, it's not a big deal. Raksha, the blue guys. Yeah, let's not try that. I already embarrassed myself once trying to pronounce that name. The blue guys that are also yellow and in robes, they can clone themselves. That's their cool thing. So what I just tried to do there is I tried to dig in 2 separate directions, but I realized that yeah, I reached the edge of the map, so you can't actually dig any further than this. So I'm just going to use regen. I'm going to quaff. Can they see invisible? No, they can't. I'm going to quaff see invisible, and I'm just going to fight. It's okay. So yeah, always look for easy ways, I guess, to take advantage of enemies. Don't always think that, you know, you're limited to haste, agi, might, heal wounds and stuff. Like there's a lot of things in your inventory that you probably will never know to use. Invisibility is probably one of the most prominent one that I've used since starting this channel, I suppose. I've used it quite extensively, even on my heavy melees. It's surprising. Okay, so I would normally be able to continue fighting this, but I'm pretty scared of this earth mage, and the reason why is because it can dig up the landscape, and it can potentially make it so that all my kill holes do nothing, which is very scary. So I'm going to just employ the Stair Pulling strategy. Obviously it's not always going to work, but for now it's fine. I can't actually enchant any more armor, so I'm just going to leave it on the floor. Yep. So enemies are a lot weaker when you enemy packs are a lot weaker when you kind of pull them apart. You separate them. So the best way to handle like ugly things like this is immediately back off and maybe head for the stairs and try to fight as little as possible at a time. So see here, even though there's like 6 or 7 enemies on the screen, I didn't engage any more than 2 of them at any point. I guess it becomes second nature after a while. Obviously, in cases like this where you're surrounded and you have an axe, it's okay to do this. But yeah, any situation where you're like 8 tiles surrounded, so every tile around you is surrounded, I would suggest running away very quickly, because 8 tile surrounds mean that you are being attacked 8 times per turn. If all enemies hit you for 10, you take 80 damage in that turn, and this is 1 turn. So you can see, so my character in 3 turns could potentially be dead in an 8 tile surround. It doesn't really matter what's surrounding you, just as long as they are surrounding you. So there's a lich there. I made the mistake of standing too close to it, letting it in line of sight. Again, I'm going to use invisibility. Do I have it? No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to use regen instead. I'm just going to tab quite slowly, make sure that my health isn't falling. Just going to check if any of these are distortion. They aren't. That's okay. Alright, good. So even with regen, I still took about 20 damage, which is kind of scary. That means that without it, I probably would have taken 40 or 50. Let's back off a little bit here. Okay, good. Alright, excellent. So, hey, that Frost Giant has the +4 Skin of Zor, which is a kind of troll leather armor, I guess. Not really. And what it does is it just gives you triple RC, which is kind of cool. Apparently I picked up this ring at some point. RF, RC, Dex, C Invis. Well, I consider that to be an upgrade over my royalty ring. It's not really. It just gives me RC triple plus, but it happens. It's fine. The thing that I'm mostly interested in this case is C Invis. The reason why I value C Invis and RC plus over MR is because I already have Trog's Hand, which gives me MR. MR is okay. I'll probably have more than enough MR to last me the game. Protection from positive energy. Protection from negative from the Ring of Positive Energy is not that great. While we're here, I guess I should talk a little. Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. While I'm here, I think I should talk a little bit more about, I suppose, the Ziggurat. So Ziggurat is a arena coliseum type area, which is not really considered part of the real game, where you can go inside and you can fight enemies on a floor-by-floor basis. It gets slowly bigger over time, each floor, and of course the enemies get more numerous over time as well. And there's up to 27 Ziggurat floors in each Ziggurat. And the potential for loot is very, very high. You can get pretty much everything you need in that Ziggurat. Every kind of jewelry, most wands, tons of potions of experience, all this cool stuff. The only thing that and the only limitation is, I suppose, you can't get it. You can't go in until you have at least 3 runes, which is fine because you usually want to have 3 runes anyway. I don't go in them all of the time because they're a bit of an unnecessary risk, because you never know when you'll take a lot of damage and then suddenly have to teleport, or I feel like the danger and I suppose the turn count and the time wasting thing, it doesn't really outweigh its benefits too much. It of course has its merits. If you're looking for a specific thing, like say for example resistance to fire, or mutation, resistance. I'm having difficulty pronouncing that word today. Resistance. There we go. Said nice and clear. Oh, this is a lot of enemies. I accidentally moved in the wrong direction. I'm going to use this little corner here to kind of sandwich myself in between these walls, and they can only engage me one at a time now, which is very good. My health isn't even dropping from these enemies, which is nice. I'm still going to go a bit slower though. Anyway, so Ziggs. Wow, I still haven't taken damage. That's pretty incredible. I don't know what's going on now. Even this Quicksilver Dragon? Really? Man. Okay. This character is tanky. He's just fought like... Oh, he took 1 damage at the end. Ah, oh, man, he just dropped it. Alright, so... Yeah, so Ziggs are really good places to go for. In, I suppose, you know... If you're looking for resist mutation or resistance to fire... Man, still screwing it up. Or corrosion, maybe? Corrode. That's all good. You can kind of just dip into the entry levels. And the reason why I say entry levels is because... Oh, well, by entry levels I mean, I suppose, maybe D... up to Ziggurat 10 at most? It'd be pushing it. Basically, every floor gets more and more dangerous, so, you know, having more floors means having more danger. This fight looks a bit scary. I'm going to summon a Brother-in-Arms just in case. Okay, so anyway. Yeah, I would have no issues digging through, I guess, maybe the first 6 to 10 floors of the Ziggurat, just to see if I could find what I'm looking for. It might be a specific... I have no idea why I did that. I just did it kind of on instinct. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, it's just... I feel like it's not necessary every game, but in the games that you are looking for something, it could provide an alternative. If your character has nothing else to do, you might as well go in. So Ziggs are actually a strategy that you can employ in a 3-rune game even. So I've messed up a little bit here, now I'm on half health. Okay, that's fine. 1 second. And we're back, sorry about that. As usual, you know, disruptions happen. And, you know, I don't want to have it interfere with the recording, especially noise. I think that this mic isn't too bad. Isn't too bad at blocking out background noise, I think. My fan's going on really loud right now, like it's actually quite loud, and I'm not sure if you can hear that, but, you know, hopefully you can't. If you do, I'm really sorry. It's just my laptop fan. Okay, so Draconians are fairly threatening, I guess. Not too threatening. I walked myself into a bad spot. Air Elementals are fast, and they hit fairly hard. Not too hard. I didn't really talk too much about these Spriggan Air Mages. They can fly, they reflect missiles, and they can smite and lightning bolt you. In particular, the thing that's scary is if you're flying, they do extra damage to you with their airstrike. So, if you engage one, you know, make sure you're strong enough to kill them or stop flying, I guess. It's pretty dangerous otherwise. For this character though, you know, they pose almost no threat. They have very low health. They can't evade my axe very well. So, you know, not... I guess this... You can't discuss every enemy and their danger on a single character, because not every character will feel that every enemy will be dangerous. Yeah, I'm not too sure what I was talking about before, unfortunately. So I have half a mind to just go into Zot now and finish this off. Maybe in the next episode. I haven't really decided yet though. You know, I should do Vaults 5 because that's the main thing. I think I'll do that actually. I'm gonna do Vaults 5 this time. I won't do Slime though, because, you know, Slime, it's mostly just a single boss fight, and it involves you knowing, just having the right mutations. It's a very situational room compared to, you know, Abyss, I suppose, and to a degree, Vaults. So Vaults, I would consider, you need a lot of AC, and you need a lot of resistances, and you need regen, and all this stuff, and you need a lot of killing power, basically. And Abyss, you need regen, you need, to some degree, Armute, and to some degree, I guess, you need a couple of resistances, maybe. You basically want a lot of haste and teleport. So apparently I went in this upstairs, which has an extra vault. I might do it, I suppose. Normally I wouldn't, but, you know, for the sake of completeness. Okay, never mind. You see that Juggernaut there? Well, I guess I accidentally did that. Let's go up a different one. And in fact, let's auto exclude this so that I don't go on it by accident again. Alright, good. So let's head back to Lair, and I guess we'll end the video there. This video was a lot... I guess recording this was a lot better today. Mostly because, I don't know, maybe I'm less tired. But, yeah. It's pretty good. I'll probably get the next part done pretty much now. Hopefully it won't be too bad. So I'll see you next time.